marketing budget, they will use $10,000 for augmented reality. But augmented reality really cannot generate customer because it's just a part of the overall marketing strategy. And while augmented reality has been in for a long time, it is also being used now for many other purposes. There is a very large association for VR and AI professionals called VRARA. And VRARA is like a NASCOM of immersive professionals, all across the world. So, in many of the sessions when I was going there a few years back, I was blown away with this gentleman who was there, giving a presentation, and he had just gotten $100 million funding, and you will be able to find him online as well. So we have something called the metal fatigue in an airplane. जब जहाज पुराना हो जाता है तो वो जैसे TWA flight जो न्यूयॉर्क के ऊपर में फट गई थी एक बार, it was a metal fatigue. And a lot of flights also have bursted in the sky, because of the air pressure, whatever. But military planes are different. They are though rugged, but then they're also used in extreme, circumstances. So what he did was he made an AR application with the use of AI, and you could simply scan your plane like that, and it will tell exactly what the metal fatigue ratio is. Because he used AR to capture the data, used AI based on what was there already and what the normal thing is, and then built it. And he had then gotten $100 million from Ministry of Defense, the Federal Defense of the US, because otherwise वो जहाज गिराते थे. इनफैक्ट आपने कभी यूट्यूब में देखा होगा, बोइंग भी वो करता है क्रैश टेस्ट, हम गाड़ी में भी करते हैं क्रैश टेस्ट, बट एक्चुअली ऑगमेंटेड रियलिटी के बिजनेस पर्पसेस भी बहुत हैं. सो क्रैश टेस्ट ऑल्सो कैन हैपन यूजिंग ऑगमेंटेड रियलिटी. मार्कर बेस्ड प्रोडक्ट स्केल, Lenskart is not pure play AR, because I definitely want to explain one more part of augmented reality which will be very practically important for someone to experience it later. Lenskart is not that much an augmented reality. But marker-based augmented reality, IKEA, I will take you through the video of IKEA also in a later session, where IKEA, when you buy an IKEA product, you're at home, you go to their app, you press the button, and वो दिखाता है the sofa will come. But it's a marker based. It can also tell you 4 फुट जगह है, तो 4 फुट में ही वो आएगा, कैसा लगेगा. So augmented reality hence has been in for a long time, and it will continue to be, as we move forward. But that content is still from your cell phone, and it's though 3D, but remember you're always accessing 3D information on a 2D screen. One of the things is that it's a myth. You go watch a 3D movie, alright, with a pair of glasses, that's fine. Because technically it's kind of a, they are creating some experience, definitely good experience. But when you look at a 3D model, or when you look at a 3D content, you are generally going to look at it on the computer. And you cannot interact with the content by yourself. Meaning that if this particular content I want to put it over here on augmented reality and I'm on a phone, अब मैं इस content को press नहीं कर सकता. It's a limitation. मैं उस content के साथ में play नहीं कर सकता. बहुत सारे machines जो jobs होते हैं, जो आप maintenance में आपके chemical factory और chemical infrastructure industry के point of view से training बार-बार देनी पड़ती है लोगों को. So augmented reality is also used in that context, where what they do is you go to the machine, you simply go and whatever app or whatever it is, scan the machine. It'll tell, it'll scan every bit of it, and then it'll exactly say, okay, on that particular section, put this screw. Safety and hazardous conditions हैं, उसमें augmented reality is used also a lot for training and general purposes, installation, etc., etc., etc. So that is one technique, driven by a technology which could be a web AR based or a app based or blah blah blah. But then on the other side, there was also this large number of people, the community, that was working towards building a more immersive experience, because 3D content has been in play only in the last, say, about 20-25 years. 3D content was not used in the kind of, with the scale that it is now used, and it has grown over a period of time as much as maybe 25 years back. It was not consumerized per se. 3D content was there. Of course, anything that we made in our lifetimes, starting with this computer or something, or even the building where we are, had a CAD model, had a 3D design, but then it was never used. It was just lying. Again, that content was lying somewhere. So how do you bring that experience for someone to come and be a part of that experience? Meaning, now I can go into the 3D design of the Hyatt Hotel, and I can go in, walk through, go Sida, go right, and for that, there was definitely a technology required. So that hardware tech is what Oculus provides us. It's more of a mini computer, or a mini sort of a mini computer, double screen, sort of combined screens, gives us the immersive experience that we are in that experience. So I can do a walkthrough, I can go straight, go Sida, left, right, whatever. So that's one thing we've seen.
Yeah, we've had like exhibitions and stuff during the COVID times, because the physical exhibitions were not happening. Forever Mark had done a forum where physically it's like a walkthrough.
Yeah.
Like you see your kids, like my kids are 14, they
Yeah.
play a lot of these games where they take these avatars and stuff.
Yeah.
And when COVID was at its peak, and generally the exhibition happens in July and August for us jewelry guys to buy it, like what you are saying, like practically walk in a store.
Absolutely.
In a stall, and in that there were few designs, and then at that time it was this thing to do a video call. Video call after that.
Yeah. So also, absolutely. So in VR, whether it's a store, whether it's an industry, whether it was to do with a lotus temple, or could be a temple, a number of companies, a number of people starting building that content with the help of a technique called photogrammetry, and they were able to bring that content to life. Design houses, the buying house business. I've worked very closely with the buying house. For the exhibitions that they do all over the year. तो एक एग्जीबिशन दिल्ली में, जर्मनी में है, फिर दूसरी बाहर है, तो वो जाते रहते हैं. So what they started using, and they have used, multiple other industries have also used, is that you create a computer graphic based castle, and now you tell a person to go and do click, because वहाँ पर वो उनके 3D products पड़े हुए हैं. The castle के अंदर में अगर मैंने सोफ़ा रखा है, जो सोफ़ा जनरल मार्केट में let's say 10 लाख रुपए से स्टार्ट होता है, तो वो उसको एक्सपीरियंस ही वो कैसल वाला दे रहे हैं, because the end customer wants to see that kind of content. A number of companies started doing to life experiences, जहाँ पर वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग की, ड्रोन के साथ डाल के इंस्टा 360 में ड्रोन उड़ा ऊपर, अंदर गए बिल्डिंग के. अपार्टमेंट वालों ने बहुत किया अपार्टमेंट बेचने के लिए. So all of that content has been in place for a long time, but the volume has increased over the last few years, though it's been there for a very, very long time, like I said, more than 25 years. And that, to access any immersive 360 content, 360 का मतलब है it is recorded in all sites. Example, ये content जो अभी डिज़ाइन हम कर रहे हैं, this is a DSLR 2D. ये 2D content है. इस कैमरा के पीछे क्या चल रहा है, that I don't know. But in a 360 true to life content, which is on a virtual reality, I can take a full view. So VR is not 3D. VR is first 360. 3D content के लिए VR हेडगियर की जरूरत नहीं है. In fact वो बहुत बोरिंग है. 3D content अगर VR में डाल दिया, अभी एस्ट्रोनॉट भाई हैं, इनको मैं देख रहा हूँ, क्या करूँगा देख के इनसे मैं, चाहिए नहीं. लेकिन अगर मैं 360 बना दूँ, उसमें इनकी प्लेसमेंट है. तो स्टोरीज started coming up. People thought stories now. I will make an event venue. जैसे सर ने बोला आई विल मेक एन इवेंट वेन्यू, फिर इवेंट वेन्यू के अंदर में आई विल गो एंड पुट अप माय ओन बूथ, right?
Yeah.
So now Rahul comes, he's a big entry, and then Rahul is, and he's finding, why? He's finding, because he's creating an experience which I want to find. But VR is very alone, is very lonely. How many of you experienced virtual reality? So half of you. Other than games,
No games.
okay, other than games, it is very lonely. You're alone.
Yeah.
रोलर कोस्टर में बिठा दिया, पीछे से पानी वानी चला दिया, खड़ 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 खड़, ऐसे लगता है मैं गिर रहा हूँ, अरे तो लेकिन मैं तो अकेला हूँ ना. बट एक्चुअल रोलर कोस्टर अगर मैं करना चाहता हूँ, ओके, रोलर कोस्टर नहीं, जो हैरी पॉटर का शो है ऑरलैंडो में, वो पूरा है ही VR बेस्ड. इनफैक्ट पहली बार मैंने वो देखा था 17 में शायद, वो फर्स्ट टाइम मैंने एक्सपीरियंस वर्चुअल रियलिटी, इतना एक्सट्रीम वर्चुअल रियलिटी एंटरटेनमेंट में डिज्नी में मैंने एक्सपीरियंस किया था फर्स्ट टाइम. तो लेकिन तब मुझे ये नहीं पता था कि मैं आज VR की बात कर रहा हूँ, ऑनेस्टली बता रहा हूँ. देन आई वाज अ यूजर, यू नो. सो आई लुक्ड एट द बेसिक्स ऑफ वर्चुअल रियलिटी. तो मैंने आपसे जब स्टार्ट हुआ तो मैंने आपको बोला कि आई वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड टू दिस पर्टिकुलर टेक्नोलॉजी in 2018 when the first time I wore the VR headgear. The first thing I realized, and my God knows, is I truly felt very lonely. And the question I asked the person also was, I said, ये तो बड़ा अकेला है, मैं क्या करूँ? तो वो दूर से कान में बोलता है, क्योंकि लगा है ना, वहाँ जाओ, वहाँ क्लिक करो, ये तो बहुत ही नईव है. It's such a naive way. अच्छा, आई कम फ्रॉम एन एंटरप्राइज टेक, वहाँ पर थोड़े ना यूज़र को बोलते हैं ऐसे, वो तो बैंकिंग करते हैं या मेट्रो की टिकट लेते हैं या कोई भी करते हैं, कितना स्पीड होता है काम. तो वर्चुअल रियलिटी में स्पीड होने की ज़रूरत थी ना. ये तो बहुत ही लोनली एनवायरनमेंट है. कहीं अच्छा वो क्लिक 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 करके एक जगह पे वो खड़ा हो जाता है ऐसे ऐसे. तो अब क्या करूँ, बोलता है क्लिक पीछे, फिर मैं पीछे आता हूँ, जूम आउट होता है. कंटेंट एक्सपीरियंस ही नहीं है वो. मतलब इट्स नॉट 8% और 10% ऑफ द टोटल कंटेंट एक्सपीरियंस. ऑफ द 100 experiences I will do, I might as well like 8 or 10. It's the other way around.